Somebody sends you a link to a game. It's small, you've never heard of it, but that's not strange, because there are thousands of games you've never heard of, and this one is sitting on the same shop you've bought everything else from for the last 10 years. Same shop, same buttons, same little download bar. So you install it. You play it for 11 minutes. It's fine. It's not great. You forget about it. That's the whole attack. There is no clever bit. You've already done the hard part for them. Let's back up. There is one enormous online shop where most people who play games on a computer buy their games. It's been around forever, everybody trusts it, and that trust is the entire point of what happens next. Now, anyone can put a game on that shop. That's a good thing. It's how small teams get to sell anything at all. When you submit a game, somebody checks the page before it goes up. Here's the gap. The page gets checked when it appears. What happens to it afterwards is a different question. So some games sat there for months, some sat there for years, and what was hiding inside them, or what got quietly added to their pages later, went unnoticed the entire time, because nobody was going back to look at a page that had already been approved. And these weren't games trying to be popular. That's the part that took me a second. They were tiny, deliberately tiny, games nobody would ever stumble across on their own. Because the plan wasn't to catch whoever wandered by. The plan was to pick a specific person first and then send that person a link. One of the people they picked was a streamer who was raising money for cancer treatment. He had $32,000 in his account for that fundraiser. It was taken. All of it. Now, the good news, and there is some, is that his audience simply gave it back. People donated and covered what he'd lost. But at that point, a lot of people online decided they were going to find out who had done this. They weren't the only ones looking. Across all of it, this group got onto 8,000 devices. They emptied 80 accounts. And they took at least $220,000, which is the number investigators could actually prove. So the real one is a question nobody can answer. Which brings us to the interesting problem. Stolen digital money is not useful money. It's a number on a screen with a very long, very public history attached to it. And everybody can read that history. You can move it around all you like. Everyone can watch you do it. So you have to turn it into something ordinary, and the way this group chose to do that was gift cards. More than 150 of them. Gift cards for all sorts of things. And one of the things was a food delivery service. I want you to sit with that, because I think it's beautiful. You have just carried out an international theft. You have built fake games. You have targeted people one at a time. You have moved money through a system specifically designed to be difficult to follow. And then you ordered a takeaway. Investigators followed the money into the gift cards, found the food delivery account, and asked the company for its records. In that account's history were over 500 food orders, delivered to a home address and to a university. A man in Florida was arrested in July. He's accused of paying somebody else to build the malware and working with a group to push the games out. He hasn't been convicted of anything, and nobody else involved has been named publicly, though investigators had already searched another person's home and taken their equipment. 500 takeaways. That's the thread that pulled it apart. And here's where I'd love to tell you it's over. It is not over. While all of this was going on, the same trick was happening somewhere else on the same shop, in a way that's harder to spot, because it isn't a game at all. There's an app on there for putting moving wallpapers on your desktop. It's one of the most used things on the entire platform, permanently near the top of the list. And because a moving wallpaper is basically a tiny program running on your screen, the wallpapers themselves can do things. Which means if you can get someone to run your wallpaper, you can run other things too, in the background, while they look at a nice picture. A security company found wallpapers doing exactly that. Some of them had been downloaded thousands of times. One had been sitting there since December, working perfectly, even launching a small game you could play, while behind it, it quietly opened a door into the computer and helped itself to the person's account. Then there's the third one. There's a game that has been the biggest thing of the year, millions of people, and like a lot of games, it lets players make their own levels and share them. On the 15th of July, somebody uploaded a level. People started noticing that when they loaded it, a little black window flashed up on screen for a moment and disappeared, which is the kind of thing you notice and then don't think about again because computers do all sorts of things. That flash was the level fetching more instructions from somewhere else on the internet and installing something that would let a stranger operate your computer as though they were sitting at it. It was up for 10 days before it was patched, in front of an audience of 15 million people. And then it went one level stranger, because while the developers were investigating all this, one of their own engineers got caught by it. Someone took over that engineer's account on the game's chat server, then they removed the actual staff, banned them from their own server. So now the people who made the game are locked outside, and the people inside are posting official-looking warnings to everybody about malware. Warnings with links in them. That's the part I keep thinking about. The safety notice was the trap. If you were sensible, if you read the warning and clicked the thing that said it would protect you, that was the mistake. It took until the 26th to get the server back. The developers made a point of saying the game itself was never touched, and as far as anyone can tell, that's true. None of this required breaking into the shop. Everything used the shop exactly as it was built to be used. The pages, the uploads, the sharing, the trust. One click, one file, one thing that looked fine. That's usually all it takes, which is either comforting or the opposite. If you want the next one, subscribe, like the video, because that is the smallest possible action with the largest possible effect. And this whole channel is about those.